Absolutely.
But the entrepreneurial thing about our president is he wrote these books that garnered him about $4.2 million.
Right.
And the other day in the Washington Post, I noticed that both of his books, in the Sunday Post, I noticed that both of his books are in the top 10 in terms of bestsellers. That's a unique position to be in, to have two books at the same time that are on the bestseller list, authored by an African American. So it appears to me that they vested themselves in more traditional fields to our community: education, government service, the public sector versus the private sector.
Sure.
But they kept, certainly the president, an entrepreneurial interest, and we see that interest kind of pervading our life at Howard University. The Eli Institute, Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute, which is a Kauffman Foundation funded initiative through the School of Business, has linkages with each of our 12 colleges and schools to spark a conversation about how you are entrepreneurial within your discipline. So though you're training as a teacher or a principal or a counselor, how can you be entrepreneurial within that discipline? Or though you're training as a nurse or a dentist, what entrepreneurial knowledge base does the student need to have? So that's kind of an interesting, I think, campus conversation.
And it is. And I think it's even a broader conversation that folks need to have, because if we look at the tough economic times that we're in, we see a lot of companies. I was reading even today, one that you would think never has financial challenges, but Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway Corporation, they're having to do layoffs. And you would think, whoa, even there now, not their home office, they've held 19 employees, which is phenomenal for the success of that company. But their companies that they own, they've had to do massive layoffs just like everyone else. The point being, people are going to have to be more entrepreneurial as they go forward, because fewer and fewer corporations will be holding long full-time employees. They will be doing more contracting, and we'll be what I've heard the term entrepreneurs. We should even act as if we are the owners of the business to give ourselves greater opportunity. And I believe the Eli Institute at Howard University should be a model for institutions in our educational system around the country. So I want to thank you for sharing all of these wonderful insights that you have. We absolutely have to get you back, because there's so much, you're such a wealth of knowledge, and there's so much that you can share with our listeners that we can't even accomplish it all. And you would think, the time, where does it go?
No, exactly. I can't believe that we're at the end of this interview already.
Either.
I would tell your listeners that, in the new stimulus package, President Obama is likely to create 25,000 to 100,000 new jobs.
Wow.
And so our community has to be paying attention to that.
Absolutely.
And for those who are situated in the traditional fields and non-traditional fields, they should give some considerable thought about how they can package themselves to be of service to this administration.
Absolutely. Well, I want you all to look very closely at the intellectual capital, and we have a model example right before us in Dr. Leslie Fenwick of Howard University's, the Dean of the School of Education, and we will look forward to having you join us again so our listeners can benefit from your wealth of knowledge.
Certainly.
You're listening to Wealth of the Nation.
Big Talker, 1580.